Alright guys, welcome to your fourth physics tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be talking about subtraction in scientific notation. I'm going to be working with two positive exponents and then two negative exponents, and then finally to wrap things up I'm going to be subtracting a negative exponent from a positive exponent. Now to be honest, if you watched my last tutorial and you understand completely addition in scientific notation, then this is going to be really easy for you. However, if you want to go through a couple more examples and see a few subtraction examples, then stick around because you definitely need to understand this before we go on to the next tutorials, which is multiplication and division. So the very first thing we need to do in this tutorial is we need to convert these scientific notation numbers to standard notation. Now 8.91 times 10 to the fourth is 89,100. Now 3.4 times 10 to the third is 3,400. Now 89,100 minus 3,400 equals 85,700. Now what this converted into scientific notation is right now the decimal point is right there, and we want to move it right here. So let's count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our final answer equals 8.57 times, of course, 10 to the fourth. So that's our final answer right there. So now let's go ahead and move on to an example where we see a negative subtracted from a negative. So the very first thing we need to do, of course, is convert this to standard notation, and 6.26 times 10 to the negative 2 is point. Yeah, I'm going to do that in like every tutorial. I'm about to drop kick my computer. But 0.0626 minus 5.9 times 10 to the negative 3 in standard notation is 0.0059. So 0.0626 minus 0.0059 equals 0.0567. And of course what we need to do is we need to move this 2 decimal points to the right. So the final answer for this would be 5.67 times 10 to the negative 2. So there's our final answer right there. Now to wrap things up, let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. Now what we're doing is we basically have a really big number, 1.45 times 10 to the sixth, minus a really small number, so 2.67 times 10 to the negative 2. So we're taking a really small amount away from a really big number. So we're going to end up with a really big number. We already know that. So let's go ahead and I guess I'll go ahead and walk you guys through this. So 1.45 times 10 to the sixth is 1,450,000, and that's it. Let me make sure I got that right. 4 zeros. Yep, looks pretty good. Minus 2.67 times 10 to the negative 2 is 0.0267. So 1.5 million minus this really small number right here gives us 144. And let me see how many. 5 nines, 7 3, and our decimal point is right there. So to be honest, I don't even know how to read this number. Let me throw my commas in. Okay, 1,449,999 and 973 as your fraction, whatever the heck you want to call it. So then we got to convert this whole dang thing into scientific notation. So let's see how many decimal points we have to move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1.44999973 times 10 to the sixth right there. So there is our, whoa, definitely messed that up. Let's see if I can get this. There is our answer right there. So 1.45 times 10 to the sixth minus 2.67 times 10 to the negative 2 equals this massive number right there. And that would probably be like your mom's weight in tons, of course, because she's huge. Burn. And yeah, so there you go. There is subtraction. Again, a lot like addition. However, In the next tutorial, we're going to be covering multiplication, and that's where things get tricky. So I don't even know if you guys want to even watch that tutorial because your brain might explode. But if you are up for it, then I'll see you there.